You have to hold that for the whole thing. He's on
I
vacation.
couldn't take a fucking mic stand on the tube, could I?
Why didn't you go to where you're going after the podcast?
Because it would be fucking 11 o'clock.
Right, okay.
Next question.
It's going to be one of them. Aye, what a mess.
I don't know that at all. Who said that?
Where's that from?
The analyst says that. How about, he's turning bots into bombs.
That's good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Science Fiction Rating System, a podcast about science fiction films. And this week we are doing one of our world famous Spoilercasts.
Can I do one more quote?
Go on then.
After all these years, to be going back to where it started, back to the Matrix. That's another quote.
Well, that's where we're going. We're going back to the Matrix, and to go there with me is Alex Humphrey.
Aye, what a mess. I'm just going to keep saying that, because that is a quote from the film. You just don't remember it.
On location, we've got Chris Redding.
Hello.
We're eating. Bloody hell. A little dip behind the curtain. We're recording this on a Saturday night. Is this unprecedented? I think we've never done this before.
No, I don't.
Saturday night record.
No.
We have done shit nights before.
Shit night.
Shit nights to work.
It was the only night we could all do.
I mean, yeah, it's a scheduling conflict. All three of us have scheduling problems.
Yeah.
You know, you're not absolved from that, Chris. It's not as if you just go any time.
No, it's true.
Anyway,
Literally this week, in the week, any time.
You didn't say
that.
that.
Wasn't true. That wasn't true.
He didn't say that.
This coming week, any time.
Will that be the next film?
I'm on record now.
Okay, he said it now.
Stop fucking eating.
It's live.
He's still eating. Right, I'll explain what's going on while Chris finishes his dinner. Pig snacks, whatever he's got.
Hula hoops.
What, sorry?
Hula hoops.
Hula hoops, right, okay. Nice. Yeah, we're here to talk about The Matrix Resurrections with an S.
Yeah, why the S?
Well, there's plural resurrections going on.
Yeah, okay.
Which came out just before Christmas in some territories.
Resurrections of careers, resurrections of a film franchise.
Of literally The Matrix.
Yeah,
Resurrection of the Matrix. Yeah.
Many resurrections going on. It's a funny title though, isn't it? To have that S there.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. It's a funny film. So we've all watched it. We're going to chat about it a bit. And, well, let's just do overall opinions first of all. And also we'll do our patented... was it out of 20 last time? Yeah. Give it a score out of 20. Alex, give a score out of 20, Matrix Resurrections.
Can I section? Does it have to be the whole film? Because I would give...
This is an overall. We'll get to the...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
8.
8 out of 20. Oof.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, the first half...
No,
you're
the
not
whole
allowed
thing.
to do that.
Whole
Else I
thing.
would have done that. Yeah.
I'm just figuring out how I'm going to get to my number. So
Need an average, don't you? Yeah.
first half is, say, 16. Second half, 2. What's an average of 2 and 16?
Hey Google, what is the average of 2 and 16?
8?
The answer is
9.
9.
9, okay.
9. Slightly higher, Alex. I will go with a 9 as well, I think. All in consensus. So, yes, the elephant in the room is that this is a film very much of two halves.
I mean, I wish it was halves. It's like a quarter and 3 quarters, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it was first act, isn't it, I suppose? Isn't it? It's kind
first act, yeah.
Which... spoilers throughout, obviously.
Yeah.
I guess we have like a spoiler sort of jingle at the top of these.
I use the Death Star alarm.
Okay.
So
Nice, yeah.
I use. Yeah, so it starts really strongly, doesn't it?
Amazingly strongly. I mean, I just wish this film had been that start all the way through. I just would have loved it.
I was hoping that they'd just throw away, like, kind of sadistically, just throw away all of the old films and just say that it was, like, in his brain or something.
Yeah, I'd have loved that.
Yeah.
I'd have loved that.
Or, like, in his Netflix account.
Yep. Yeah, what I'd hoped, my pitch would have been, that it was what the beginning was, so it was like in his head, and then you'd have seen him, all the bit that was back in the Matrix, that would have actually been a film version of his life story, because actually he'd killed himself and he was dead.
Yeah.
And I'd have had like really savage, like, yeah, he was just a nutter that killed himself. Like, I'd have loved that if that was the end. That would have been...
They kind of fucked themselves up, haven't they? Because they made it all green, everything which is supposed to be in the Matrix in the old films.
Yeah.
So really it should have been green, and it would have given away the whole plot of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't they fix that on their... I think they've got rid of the green grading now, haven't they? The latest version of the films, they got rid of all the green grading off it, I think.
Oh. That's a pity.
Maybe that's a tie into this one, I don't know. But I think it's worth saying. It is very strong, and they go for it in a way that you don't expect a blockbuster to go. I mean, there's like laugh out loud moments. The bit when he's at the desk and his boss, the new Agent Smith, is saying, literally, Warner Brothers need a new game out of you. I was like, that was a belly laugh for me. Like,
they're going to make one whether you're in it or not.
Yeah.
Which I thought was brilliant. And also, when they do that little quick montage where they go around, they're trying to decide what the new Matrix game will be about.
Yeah, I
and they
really
say
like
that. It's a trans allegory. It's
it's really well edited. Is that the whole? There's that really good the bit kind of the Jefferson airplane montage. That's really well edited, where they literally cut into, like, it's the same half a sentence, but they're all wearing different clothes or in a different place.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Like, I'm sure Chris has had more experience of it than us, but like, it really felt like what those meetings are like, or like
where there's just someone just saying the same thing in every meeting. We need a new bullet time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I want to see the Wachowskis pitching that bit in that room of those people. Having to show it to the...
It is like they're like punking Warner Brothers somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy that they got away with it in a way, isn't it? That first bit.
Yeah.
It's just so bold.
Yeah.
And the whole idea, because I actually, the script leaked ages before, and I read it, and it had the bit about how, saying Keanu Reeves works for Warner Brothers, he's making a game called The Matrix, and I was thinking, there's no way this is real, this is too far out. But it actually is that crazy. And there's a whole thing about how he's seeing the analyst, who's Neil Patrick Harris. I don't really rate him.
He was all right, but
he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's not a lead. He's not a lead, is he? He's not a. He's not up front sort of antagonist.
No.
But don't you think they did a really good job of not going too hard on that and keeping you're really guessing, aren't you, for that first bit as to what the hell is going on, really, how they're going to get back to,
and
they are going to get back to it.
Yeah, and that's great because he's got a black cat called Deja Vu. Yeah. And I really wanted, again, like, all of the Matrix characters to be in it, but like really badly, like maybe he meets there's a captain, and it's like one of the captains of the ships, but this person is literally a ship's captain, but he's just gone like, spaceship captain, and it's like the same actor or whatever. Like, if they were like that lamely like transferred into the game, I would have loved that. Like, just really badly done.
I think it was almost too. I saw that the psychiatrist was going to be the main bad guy. It should have been just someone in the background, like who's in all the meetings or something, like the fat guy in the meetings.
Yeah, someone a bit
more
more
on the nose, I suppose.
Yeah.
The other bit we missed that I thought was really good was the very, very start of the film, and they basically almost shot for shot recreate the start of the first Matrix with a different actor playing Trinity.
Yes. And
it's like they've recast her, and they're like, and obviously she's not recast, and there's literally, there's people, isn't there, like outside the Matrix who are like there observing it, as if they're in VR.
Yeah, that was quite
It's such a crazy, like, again, like, because you just don't know, especially at that point, you're like, what on earth is going on? Like, are they remaking it or what? It's really...
So what was that bit? That was... What was that? Was that them looking at the game?
That was the game that was Neo had made that game that loop. It was a loop to get Morpheus to kind of respawn in a way, like, because the loop meant that the programs would get cleverer and cleverer and gain sentience, and it was trying to bring Morpheus back, wasn't it?
And he's running that on his computer, is that right?
Yeah, endlessly, the same thing again and again, and that somehow it makes.
They didn't make that clear. I don't think what that was.
No. But I mean, I was on board at that initially. That it didn't make much sense. I thought, like, they've gone so far out there, you've got to cut them some slack for it to not make sense in a way, which was fair enough. Yeah. Until it reverted to type, you know what I mean? Then it was like,
No, and then it just loses its way.
Because it kind of forces
badly.
you to, like this bit we're discussing now, the rest of the film forces you to kind of think about what's going on more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very, very, very boring. And then it kind of doesn't make a lot.
Literally, as soon as it went back into that fucking dojo...
Oh, man.
I turned it off.
And
then I came back to it like 3 days later.
Do you think he's wearing that really weird, like, the Morpheus guy's wearing that really weird open, like Chinese, like Japanese robe? Do you think that's like a callback to the Animatrix? The weird, sexy fight scene. Oh yeah, because he's really like got his chest out. And he's wearing this kind of like weird robe. Like that's really. He
was good, wasn't he? The new Morpheus.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought
They should have showed some like fan art of the game in there, which is the Animatrix.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, he should have had stills from the Animatrix on his wall in his office, shouldn't he? Because he had the toys, didn't he? Which I thought was really good.
He had the real Smith though, like. Because there was like a sculpture of Smith, and it looked like what's his face.
But doesn't the new Smith even say he's an upgrade or whatever? Doesn't he? He's changed look.
But why doesn't Trinity look the same?
Why does she look the same?
No, she looked different though, right? She looked different on that bit we saw on the roof.
Yeah, because that was in the game. That's the game.
Keanu's his fabrication of what. He's trying to recreate what happened in the past with his fabrication of it, but he's forgotten about real Trinity, hasn't he, until he meets her in the...
But surely the real Smith would be different as well.
Smith wasn't in that bit at the start.
Well, he must have made the whole game with Smith in as well, right?
You don't see him, though, not inside that first game. No. You see some random agents in that bit. Smith isn't in the
Well, I assume there's a whole massive game, though, right? So he must have shown Smith at some point.
Yeah.
But we don't see it, though.
Yes, but... What I'm saying is, there was a toy, there was a bit of merchandise.
Yeah.
Using the likeness of the old Smith.
Yeah.
As we know him, right?
Right.
Where what we're seeing, that he's made a game, which is his memories of what he saw, not the same actors.
Oh, because Trinity's different.
Yes. Right.
But I think actually, if you look, I think on IMDb it credits Morpheus is Smith in that exercise.
That's how should I break him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in that exercise, but I assumed that there'd be... Are we thinking then that Trinity in the main game looks like the real Trinity?
Yeah, she definitely does, because there's a bit when she says...
She plays it, she went and plays it.
Yeah, and then her husband... Yeah, her husband's all shitty about it.
It is good, though. They didn't recast her, isn't it? It's good to see, like,
a
middle-aged woman allowed to be a middle-aged woman, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the weird thing? So the guy that's her husband, the Chad...
Yeah.
He is the director of the John Wick films, who started out as a stunt double for Keanu Reeves. So that's like a little thing. And you know the bit when Keanu looks in the mirror and you see that weird, bald old man, and they're like, oh, this is... Yeah, that's Carrie-Anne Moss's actual husband, who is an actor.
Oh.
So that's even weirder one, because it's like that is you're just like, that guy looks about like 80.
Family affair.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. But
they were going meta as fuck on this.
Yeah, they really were. Yeah, they really were with that bit.
I forgot those bits in the mirror. That was weird, wasn't it? Because they were so fast. You were almost like you hadn't seen those little cuts.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a bit when Smith, you see the real Smith in the mirror as well.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, as we've discussed, it really nosedives. He gets out of the Matrix, and for me, the almost turn off bit was when Jada Pinkett Smith comes back.
Yeah.
And I initially didn't think it was her.
No.
And then she gets a bit closer and she's like, it's not an old person, it's clearly a young person acting old terribly. And I was like honestly, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Who is this for?
Well, see, I tell you something interesting. Where I work, there are a lot of younger people than me, and their opinion is the reverse of our opinion. They hate the beginning, all that meta stuff. I hate that. Oh, it's much better when it just gets going. So, I know, God. Head slap, exactly. And maybe this film is literally for people who haven't seen The Matrix or have only watched 10-second clips of it on YouTube. This is...
Oh, so they literally haven't seen it?
Well, they might have seen... I mean, people at my work watch a lot of films, but I mean, is it actually to the point of people who didn't see it at the time, they just see it as this like...
I wonder if it's if you were a young teen when the sequels came out, you like it, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, they actually think the reverse of what we think, that they didn't like the beginning and then they like it. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking. Yeah, it's. I mean, my friend said it when I saw my friend yesterday. He said the same thing. It just looks so fake. It's very flat and it's
very cheap, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't look. It's not got any. A lot of things look like sets in it, and they don't. I
just don't believe anyone's getting hurt.
And
I kind of know they're not because it's a video game.
Yeah.
But also, I think the fight choreography is so much worse than the old films. Yep. Like, there's
there's nothing impressive. No,
it's so slow, isn't it? And like all the dynamism's gone out of it completely.
And there's no new techniques, or I mean, even though I hate the bit when he fights all the Smiths. I hate that scene in whichever one it is. But at least that we're trying to push the boundaries of what the graphics could do.
The rain sort of effect in that was quite impressive. You know how they and it had that sort of, you know, epicness to it, you know, with the music and it, you know, they really piled it on. I mean, this was what I did like. I liked that they were like all just in that cafe or whatever it was, and like it was really quite crushed. I like that because normally these fights have got big like scope to them.
Yeah,
and this seemed like it was just a bit of a bundle, which seemed interesting.
It was the problem was they were all a bit like that, weren't they? Like the one in the sewers with the Merovingian. Which I thought his appearance was funny.
Yeah, he was good.
I didn't really catch everything he was saying, but he's like shouting about like sequel rights and stuff.
Yeah, he is.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the fact he just looks so fucked up, like living in a bin like for the last 4 years, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's also a very small fight, isn't it? Which is, again, is very, I don't know.
What occurred to me? Sorry, go on, Alex.
No, it didn't. The Matrix did things that broke boundaries. This was just like it didn't. There was no bit in it where I was like, "Oh wow, that was an amazing shot," or "Oh, that was an amazing effect," or something. Like ironically,
that's what come down, isn't it? The boundary it breaks is the first bit. Like that is for a film of this scale to be so fucking weird.
Yeah,
that's the boundary it broke, and they just reverted to type for an hour and a half. How long? But.
I think because it's in like if you were like young watching this, it's in a like post. Like Ready Player One, Free Guy, that sort of shit. Like this is, it means something different, doesn't it? The Matrix than what it did to us, the original Matrix.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. And computer games are so different now that that it means something different.
And it also occurred to me that you can tell we're in like a post-truth world when. In the original Matrix, there was like no question that you free people from the Matrix, right? And in the new one, there's a question mark because they might be having fun in the Matrix. And an ignorant position is a valid position in today's society, which is kind of quite interesting to think about.
Yeah.
But again... Like, it is, definitely, and I'm sure they've had some very interesting thoughts. They're just lost in a mess of an action film, aren't they?
Yeah, and all
with a lot of like beats that don't really work. Like the whole idea that Trinity's got to be put back in very carefully. It's not very interesting to watch, is it? Or there's no peril really.
And I didn't really like the monsters, the robots which were in the real lot. You know, hanging out with the. Humans.
I was going to say about that. That's like the robot idea. And the programs idea, the fact that programs themselves have broken free from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
They were original ideas, but they were so just like, oh, yeah, and programs can escape now. Look, and you're like, hey, I'm a program.
You weren't a fan of the
I liked it, but it wasn't explained enough for it to mean anything.
Yeah, the ball bearing people are quite but didn't they say like they have to be in a place like a room with like the correct like holographic projectors for them ball bearings to float around.
Yeah.
They just forget that, don't
right?
they?
And they fucking forget that because it breaks into the mainframe.
Yeah, and they don't... I mean, I'm assuming if you've, like, when we rewatched the Animatrix, that's the beginnings of this freeing of the robots and the robots coming over to the human side. But if you hadn't remembered that bit of the Animatrix, you'd just be like, well, no, hold on, they haven't really explained why robots are on our side now. Why would they be?
They're kind of jumping over the interesting story, which is like the robot revolution of getting out of the Matrix, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a more interesting film, really. Is why have you got robots that are mates now?
Yeah.
You know.
In fact, actually, if Neo had been pulled out of the Matrix, literally all the humans had been dead, and there were only there were no human out of the Matrix. There was only robots and programs, and he had been pulled out as the one to start pulling out humans again because humans were so complacent and so enjoying the Matrix. Like, that would have been an interesting concept, that there were no humans outside of the Matrix anymore.
I mean, honestly, anything would have been better than just going back to fucking Zion, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, sorry, it's not Zion, is it? It's, what is it?
Eon.
Eon, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's still the same, like,
IO.
grunge rave home.
IO.
Yeah. Where do they get the wool from to make all those jumpers?
The wool.
Because everyone's still wearing jumpers, aren't they?
They must have sheep.
Well, some like synthetic compound.
They pulled out some sheep from the Matrix too.
Yeah, that's the whole of the Matrix, the sheep Matrix.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
There.
I think I sent you where they've got the rat on playing like Doom.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
God.
Yeah. I think there's a sheep in like a Doom simulator somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's what I never got with the third. You know, the third one where they're just like battling with like big robots and shooting bullets.
Yeah.
Where they're manufacturing all these fucking millions of bullets.
Yeah. It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Wouldn't it be easier just to have lasers? Like,
they're not like a scrappy like last bit of resistance, are they?
They're eating gruel. They're eating like goo.
Yeah. The sheep get all the good stuff. Do they get nice?
Yeah.
That's what's going on there.
Yeah. No, it fell apart very quickly, and I mean, I thought that the main woman, Bugs, whatever, she's
great. I thought
she was
fantastic.
fine. Like, she was doing her best.
And New Morpheus, I thought both of them were good. I didn't like New Agent Smith very much, but I think that's more the role that he became, because he just became so cartoonish, didn't he? Like,
yeah.
And also, his motivation was completely meaningless, wasn't it? Much in the way, well, exactly. Much in the way that in the second and third Matrix films, it becomes a bit like, why is Smith even bothering this?
Yeah.
What's he doing? Because he's free. But what was really what he was doing? What was he doing in this one? And the fact that in the end he just disappears, like
I know. Yeah, he's like, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah, and he says that like whole like, he says that's a smart line or whatever. But yeah, and then he just goes, and you're like, what? And I would also say the bit when they, as I quoted, they're turning bots into bombs. When the people would jump out their living rooms and just start falling on them.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone out there who thinks that's impressive, they need to watch Fast and Furious, is it 8? When Charlize Theron turns all the cars on in car parks and it starts raining cars. That's the shit. Watch it rain cars on a car, not people on people. You need to see it raining cars. That's much more impressive. So, Fast and Furious went there first.
Get killed, though?
No, he just disappears. He says, I'll tell you what he says. He says...
Yeah, but on the third one, he got killed, right?
Did he get killed in the third?
Well, they were having a massive fight.
He disappears again.
But isn't he back, though, for the same reason... Oh, actually, no, why is he back? He's back for the same reason that Neo's still in, isn't he? Because they need the balance of it all to work. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They've put Smith back in as well, I think. He's been put back in especially to be...
Yeah.
I don't know.
He says, anyone could have been you, whereas I've always been anyone. And then he disappears.
Yeah, not legendary stuff, really.
No.
This film cost $190 million, which seems high to me.
You know the trailer?
That high, because like that free guy cost like 200.
Do you know that the trailer? Did you ever watch the trailer?
The trailer's really good.
Did you realise that it's different when you watch it? Yeah. There are 2,880 unique variations of dialogue.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So that's where the money went.
It took the time, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, was it Morpheus in the voiceover?
Yeah.
He like talked about he's like the time in your world is whatever. And,
yeah,
it's clever.
Yeah.
Also, have either of you played the Matrix Experience thing on PS5 and Series X? So the city in this was made in Unreal Engine, which is obviously used for like Mandalorian, loads of stuff nowadays. Unreal Engine 5, and they basically released the city.
Oh wow!
For you to go around, just showing off that basically the game's going to look as good as this in a few years' time. And it is like it's visually absolutely amazing, and you can fly around the city.
Oh, okay.
But that came out a few weeks before the film, so I'd flown around it a lot, and it's so weird because it is literally those assets are in the film.
Oh,
and you're like, I recognise this. I've flown over these cities.
Oh
like that.
God, so that's weird.
There'll be a strange future because obviously they're very close to it, of where
you'll be able to go in.
You'll be able to go in any sort of Mandalorian. Wow. You'll be in Mandalorian, and then you're watching and stuff. Yeah, it's really, really impressive. If you get a chance to, it's free, but you need a PS5 or a Series X to look at it.
I really hated...
And a VR. Is it VR or something?
No, it's not, but it's going to be VR in, I think over the summer or something like that. They are doing a VR version of it, eventually.
I also really hated that cover version of Rage Against the Machine in the credits.
Oh, yeah. Like, they've taken one of the best cuts to credits of all time and absolutely fucking ruined it by putting some awful cover
And did you see the end thing at the end of the credits?
Remind me?
It's it basically cuts back to a pitch meeting. So,
I didn't see this, no.
Yeah, right at the end of all the credits, it cuts back to a pitch meeting with the Indian woman who gets revealed as being like...
From Limbo Avenue, whatever it was.
Yeah, and all that. So it's really weird when this bit's set, and the two of the guys in the pitch meeting are like, oh yeah, no, it's all about cats. Imagine this, cat tricks, not Matrix, and then it just ends. So it's like a really crappy joke.
That's them fucking around.
Yeah,
like when they were testing the camera.
Yeah, and it's not even like a joke outtake. It's like a joke, but then you're just like, no, but hold on, this is in the world. This makes no sense in the coherence of the.
I'm glad I didn't see that. Really.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I hate post-credit things.
Yeah.
There's a funny tweet recently the day. Someone saying every Marvel film is basically you sit through 9 minutes of the credits. And then a door opens, someone walks out and goes, "It's me, Blarlock." And it ends. It's like, yeah, totally, that's what it is. Yeah. The best one is Justice League. We were saying about that, Justice League, Alex, when there's that old woman in a room for ages talking to someone. I can't believe she's talking to like some character, and she walks out into the corridor, and it's like this really dramatic camera going up the corridor, going da, all sinister, and then she like turns around, and it's just this black dude who I've got no fucking idea it was. And it was like, what's this reveal? Like, who the hell is this bloke?
Yeah,
you've not told me who it is. Just some like random guy.
You're supposed to know that. Yeah, that.
It's going like bum bum bum. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
but not a great film.
No. Do you know why it was made? This film.
Desperation and a lack of new ideas.
You're going to feel a bit of a shithead. Basically, the Wachowski, however you say their names, their parents died very close to each other, within 5 weeks of each other. Okay. And one of them's reaction to the death was Lana's reaction was to basically like, I want to go back to Matrix, I want to go back to a time when you felt safe, my parents were alive, I want to revisit that, I want to redo that. Lily, the other one, was just like, I don't want to touch the Matrix ever again. I want nothing to do with it. That was a time of when I wasn't even transitioned. It was a really terrible time in my life. And that's why only one of them is involved with it and not the other, because one of them just wanted to have nothing to do with it. I'm
going to go out on a limb, though, and I'm going to say that Warner Brothers signing off $200 million for this has got nothing to do with their dead dad, has it? Let's be honest.
Well, one of them didn't get the money. I mean, one of them took the money for it, one of them didn't. So, I guess the other one got paid for the character, the names and the rights and stuff.
Yeah,
but they didn't write and direct it at all.
No, it's the Cloud Atlas bloke, isn't it? The author David Mitchell who wrote it.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing his influence is on the first bit more than the second bit, maybe, because he's into that kind of weirdo things like that.
Yeah. So a bit of a weird reason to make a film. Money, but it's a bit of a weird reason as well to make it.
I mean, what else are they going to let the Wachowskis make at this point?
Yeah,
everything has gone bad for them, hasn't it?
Their ratio of
what else did they do?
The last thing was that Sense8 thing, wasn't it, on Netflix? That TV series that got cancelled.
They did on the good column. I'd say Bound is a good film.
That's pre-Matrix.
Yeah, and V for Vendetta's got
terrible.
Okay,
film.
bits of it. They did Jupiter Ascending, which is supposed to be terrible. I've never seen it, but
I haven't seen it.
I like Speed Racer, but everyone else in the world hates that film.
This is Speed Racer, Chris.
No.
Oh yeah,
I have to watch that soon.
And they made, what was the other one they made? Cloud Atlas, which was a huge flop.
That's a fucking disaster as well.
Yeah, so they've not really done very well after Matrix, and also two of the Matrix films are terrible. Only one of them's any good.
So it's a miracle.
And now 3 of them are terrible.
And also, this is bombed, hasn't it? So it's not going to...
Has it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think this is the end again. Well, until they do it again.
I think Keanu gave a lot of his money to charity, which is...
He did, to cancer research, yes. He always fee. He's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Wasn't it on Revolutions? And we said how he gave all the crew, didn't he? He gave his fee to the crew.
Oh, that's good. I mean, to be honest, in that
money, I think
beginning, he's actually acting quite a lot. Like, he has actually got a lot to do. You can see why he was interested in that.
I'm kind of pissed off with him because he hasn't even had a haircut for this. It's like
it's just John Wick again, isn't it?
He's just turned up.
Yeah,
it's just John Wick.
And also, like, yes, he's good acting, so he has to do something slightly more ambitious, and he's terrible again, isn't he? Like, he's a lovely bloke, but he can't act. Let's be honest.
No, he can't.
But
there you go.
Anyway, well, we watched it.
Have anyone seen Spider-Man? Do you want to do a mini Spider?
I haven't seen that yet, but you should go for it.
So I thought I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I had low expectations and I thought it was quite good.
I loved it. It's one of my best films of last year. Yeah, I loved it.
Bring back all the old Spider-Men and all the old villains. It's quite good.
Works really well. It works exactly the way this doesn't work, basically.
And because I used to think, Tobey Maguire, meh. Actually, I was like, oh my God, I love Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, no. And Andrew Garfield, I think he redeemed...
Andrew Garfield.
He redeemed
And they gave them
himself.
very distinctive little jobs. Like, Andrew Garfield was like the sad one, really, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he was like, they're all like, oh yeah, I fought aliens from another dimension or something. And he goes, we had like a guy who dressed up as a rhinoceros, like...
Is Rhino in it? Is Paul Giamatti?
No, he's not in it. No.
Because Rhys Ifans, isn't he?
Yes, although though I've heard
it's a bit sad though because they give him like a really secondary sort of. He hardly has any lines.
Yeah.
And I noticed the massive poster they have on the tube. Like there's Spider-Man in the middle, and then there's like a little reference to all the like villains. Like there's a bolt of lightning. There's one of the claws, except. There's nothing relevant to Lizard.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I didn't know if him and what's his face, Sandman. I don't know if it's actually them or they've just used old footage and the likenesses and stuff. Like
Thomas Hayden Church came back definitely.
No, it's definitely them.
Do you think they got them back?
Yeah.
Because on Wikipedia for a while, I think it's gone now.
It's in the credits. It says Rhys Ifans.
At the start of Wikipedia, on the article for it, all the spoilers, people like really anti-spoiler for this. You're on the page, and it was like Spider-Man No Way Home starring, and it got all the villains' names at the top of Wikipedia. So on there, just ruined it all for you.
I knew the villains were in it because they used that as the marketing for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that the old Spider-Men were in it.
Yes, that's the clever. That's the clever.
And I don't know what it is. It's like before I'd seen it, I didn't know, and then after I'd seen it. All my social media was spoiling it.
Yeah,
it somehow knew that I'd seen the film.
Oh, that's weird. So
weird.
It allowed you to see all the spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a bit odd. Oh,
yeah,
you're in the Matrix, Chris.
Right. Do you know what I hope about this film is that I feel like we're on the cusp of where our age group we're being aged out of nostalgia a bit. And all the guff that people younger than us like Harry Potter and Twilight, all that kind of shit. It's their turn to have their youth ruined. I think we're at the very. I think Spider-Man is the last sort of thing, of our era.
And we won't care. So we won't care when they try and reboot.
I think
Twilight.
Harry Potter for like Harry Potter 8 or whatever.
But what they're going to do when they've gone full circle and there's like nothing new to make?
Oh well, that's it. Yeah, they're fucked, aren't they? Because that's it. Yeah. This generation now have got nothing. They've just got all our stuff recycled, haven't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is people 10 years younger than us. It's their time to shine soon, and we're in the clear, and we can dismissively go, well, I'm not going to watch Twilight 8 or whatever.
Or just weirdly discover things that you never watched because...
Yeah, be like, this is great.
Yeah, I was too old to watch
Twilight
that.
was fucking brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
Divergent, sign me up.
Yeah, wow, yeah, I never knew this was such a good series, yeah. Fifth Wave.
My words, I reckon I'm going to say I'm putting my foot, what's my foot, not my foot
Hat
down.
in the ring.
My hat in the ring. Hunger Games 4, whatever. The new Hunger Games film in the next 18 months. I'm saying it. They're coming in that generation.
I guess because Avatar doesn't count because he's just waited this long to get the money and the technology.
Well, that's still us, isn't it? 2009.
You're right.
It's just Cameron's taken fucking forever to make it, so he's kind of missed us by accident.
I think the problem with Cameron is like such on the cutting edge of technology. It changes every time he must turn up for work.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh fuck,
we've got all the cameras in, James.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, fuck these cameras.
No.
These new cameras. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, there we go. That's a spoiler cast for Matrix and Spider-Man. Anything else you want to spoil? What was the for the thing? Oh, going on Boiling Point, that's all right.
Yeah. Sam, you need to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, well, I'll watch Ghostbusters Afterlife and we can spoil that, but yeah.
Don't just make you sad.
I told him to have very low expectations and he'd be all right. Like very, very low.
Very low.
Very.
Have you seen it, Chris?
Yeah.
Right. That's 2 very lows. So I'll go with very,
rock
very,
bottom.
very low.
I mean,
I don't think there's any redeeming.
Oh wow, this is worse than I thought. Yeah, I just thought it was very.
I might wait to February so I can drink while I'm watching it because I think watching it sober might be a bit much.
Good idea. Yeah, good idea. Maybe.
You know what? Like the effects are quite good.
Right. Okay.
It's really had to think about that.
And they use the same music.
Yeah, they do. The music's kind of keep dum dum.
Has it got
that little bit of not?
I believe it's Magic song.
No, it does not have that. No, I'm sorry.
Good.
No, it does not have that song. The soundtrack's actually quite annoying. The soundtrack annoyed me actually.
Right.
The music, as in the song soundtrack, really pissed me off.
Everything's annoying about it. Everything.
Well, see how you feel.
We won't be Spoilercast in that one, but we might mention it again in the future. Anyway, next week we're going back to 2017 again, and it's Alex's pick, which is Life.
Oh, life.
Oh, Life.
Oh, life.
So get your piece of toast, watch out for ghosts, and join us for that one next week. Cheerio!
Bye! Yeah.